Imagine taking a single, crisp $100 bill and watching it systematically turn into thousands of dollars of passive income every month. That is the mathematical reality of long-term investing in index funds. You probably assume you need a massive, top-tier salary to build that kind of portfolio. Most people believe crossing the six-figure mark automatically solves every financial problem, and hitting $500,000 makes money irrelevant. The data shows something completely different. High income is just fuel. If you don't have the engine of investment to actually capture it, a top-tier salary guarantees you absolutely nothing. Take a doctor living in Chicago making $380,000 a year. She drives a leased BMW, her kids go to private school. Her monthly mortgage is over $4,000. On paper, she's wealthy. In reality, she couldn't come up with $5,000 in cash without selling something or putting it on a credit card. This diagram visualizes a 2025 Goldman Sachs report. Look closely at the highlighted segment. 4 out of 10 Americans earning over $500,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck with zero financial cushion. These people bring home more in a single month than many Americans earn in an entire year, yet they wake up with the exact same financial anxiety as someone earning a fraction of their salary. What you are looking at is the high-income poverty trap. It proves a brutal mathematical rule. You cannot out-earn highly destructive spending habits. The trap operates on human psychology. When income goes up, spending increases in direct proportion. A $15 lunch turns into $25. The adequate apartment becomes a sprawling house. These upgrades lock high earners into massive, inflexible fixed costs, like oversized mortgages and country club memberships, that leave absolutely zero margin for error. It's driven by the hedonic treadmill. Someone hits a net worth of $500,000 and looks up to see that feeling comfortable now requires $839,000. They hit $1 million, and suddenly wealthy means $2.3 million. The goalposts constantly move out of reach. To bridge the gap between their income and their expectations, they turn to debt. Lower-income households use credit cards to survive. High earners use them to maintain a curated lifestyle. That's why the top 20% of earners hold over a third of all U.S. credit card debt. They optimize for current social status instead of future flexibility. When you commit your entire income to maintaining an image, a single disruption, a medical bill, a missed bonus, can bring the whole house of cards crashing down. There is a completely different way to interact with money, and it relies on the quiet compounding power of the stock market. Index funds allow you to capture the broader market's growth, multiplying small, regular investments into serious capital over time. Compare the broke high earners to actual wealth accumulators. Data consistently shows that 79% of millionaires are entirely self-made. They didn't inherit their money, and they actively avoid displaying what they have. True millionaires exhibit a very specific behavior. They invest at least 15% of their income straight into the market before they ever pay for a necessity or a lifestyle upgrade. They treat savings as a non-negotiable bill. Most of them live in middle-class neighborhoods and drive older cars. Warren Buffett still lives in the same Omaha house he bought in 1958 for $31,000. They entirely ignore the social pressure to upgrade. Actual wealth has absolutely nothing to do with the car in your driveway or the zip code you live in. It is strictly defined by the assets you keep and invest. Let's look at the math over a 20-year timeline. This is where the sheer power of compound returns exposes the flaw of relying entirely on a high salary. This line graph plots scenario A. We have a professional earning $300,000 a year, but they only save 5% of it. Assuming an average 7% market return, over 2 decades, their portfolio slowly climbs to roughly $650,000. Now look at scenario B. This person earns the exact same $300,000 salary, but they aggressively save 30% of it, achieving the exact same market return. Their wealth curves sharply upward, peaking at roughly $4 million. Notice the gap between these two outcomes. That is a difference of $3.35 million. That empty space is the literal, quantifiable cost of falling into the high-income poverty trap. The math is clear. A 30% savings rate on a $200,000 income builds wealth faster than a 5% rate on a $400,000 income. Behavior determines your net worth, not the salary. Bypassing human psychology requires something called the automation principle. You set up a system to automatically route a fixed percentage of your paycheck directly into your investment accounts on the day you get paid, and you strictly live off whatever remains. Then you audit your spending. Look at the recurring subscriptions, the unused memberships, and the luxury car lease. If an expense provides social status rather than lasting proportional value, you cut it. Escaping the trap requires making a conscious trade-off. You choose to accept slight constraints on your lifestyle today in order to guarantee massive options and genuine freedom tomorrow. Small, consistent investments made right from the start create the financial security that six-figure salaries usually lack. You don't need a $500,000 salary to build a portfolio that pays you while you sleep. Putting the market to work for you ends the cycle of financing a lifestyle with high-interest credit cards and car leases. It turns your income into an asset rather than a monthly commitment to someone else's bottom line. If you're ready to start building that financial engine, hit the subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what financial topics you want us to cover next, and stick around to build your financial future.